Good evening to all. We have completed the chapter 1 in the last class. This class we will start chapter 2. So chapter 2, inverse trigonometry functions. Inverse trigonometric functions. So inverse trigonometry functions, we have learned the trigonometry functions and the many formulas in the 11th standard. This class we are going to learn inverse trigonometry function. Before that we will see where basic concepts, that is from +1, that is the sine function. We know that 6 trigonometric ratios. So the sine function, first one is sine function. So what is the range and domain, domain and range of the sine function? And similarly for all 6 trigonometry ratios we will write the range, domain and range of the 6 trigonometry ratios. After that we will go to the graph. We will see the sine graph, cos graph, all the graphs. From that graph how we are writing the range and how we are writing the domain, everything. And then we will go to the definition of sine inverse of x, and then finally we will go to the exercise problems. Clear? So now the sine function, the range and domain and range of the sine function. So we see the graph of sine function. After that we will write the domain and range of the sine function. Clear? So what is graph of sine function? So the graph of sine function is given here. This is the graph of sine function. Here the domain is extended to real numbers, that is right side it is going up to infinity, left side it is going to infinity. So all the real numbers, domain is here, domain is all the real numbers. Range only is taking sine function. The maximum value of this function is r, minimum value of the function is -1, maximum value equal to 1, minimum value equal to -1. So the domain and range of the sine function, domain is real numbers to the range is closed interval -1 to +1. Similarly cos function, that is cosine function or cos function, we can name it. The graph of the cos function is given here. This is the graph of the cos function. So the domain of the cos function is same as real numbers. It is extended right side. It is extended right side minus plus infinity, left side minus infinity. Similarly here also the maximum value of the cos function is 1, minimum value of the cosine function is -1. So the range is closed interval -1 to 1. The values only will take closed interval -1 to 1. So the cos function or cosine functions, domain is real number, range is same as -1 to 1. Next function we will see tan function. Tan function we will say tan function. So this is the graph of the tan function. This side, this is the graph of tan function, this is the graph of tan function. So the tan function, similarly as previous problem, it is also extended -infinity to +infinity, but one condition is there. At every pi by 2, that is pi by 2, 1 pi by 2, 3 pi by 2, 5 pi by 2, 7 pi by 2. Similarly minus pi by 2, -3 pi by 2, every odd pi by 2, 1 pi by 2, 3 pi by 2, it is the function is not defined. So we are excluding the pi by 2, 3 pi by 2, 7 pi by 2, 5 pi by 2, like that. Similar left side also minus pi by 2, -3 pi by 2, excluding in the domain. Codomain, that is range set is all real numbers. It is taking all the real numbers. The tan function is true for all the taking the range is all the real numbers. So we are writing here the tan function whose domain is real numbers except that pi by 2, 3 pi by 2, 5 pi by 2. So generally I am writing that r minus x such that x equal to 2n plus 1 pi by 2, that is odd pi by 2, 2n plus 1 pi by 2, where n belongs to integers. This set is the domain. So range is what we said already, it is range is real numbers. Clear? So if you are taking integer 0 means pi by 2 will come except pi by 2. 1 means 1 pi, taking 1, sorry, n equal to 0 means pi by 2 will come, n equal to 1 means 3 pi by 2 will come, 2 means 5 pi by 2. Similarly I'm taking integers, so minus 1 means minus 3, minus 5 means I will take it the minus pi by 2, minus 3 pi by 2, minus 5 by 2, like that. Next function is sine, cos, tan over. Next we are taking chord function. So chord function, see the graph of the chord function. This is the graph of chord function. This side is available, graph of chord function. So chord function also defined in every minus infinity to plus infinity except the point pi, 2 pi, 3 pi. Similarly left side also minus pi, minus 2 pi, minus 3 pi, like that. Because cos function, why it is not defined means cos can be written, sorry, chord can be written as cos by sin x. So sin x whenever getting 0, on that point the function is not defined. Similarly the previous case also, tan means sin x by cos x. So whenever cos will become 0, at that point the function is not defined. Cos pi by 2 is 0, cos 3 pi by 2 is 0, cos 5 pi by 2 is 0. Similarly minus pi by 2 0, minus 3 pi by 2 0. So at all the points of whenever cos is getting 0, that points we have to exclude in the domain. Similarly here also whenever sine will get 0, that point we have to exclude in the domain. So we have tried the chord functions domain and range. So chord function is real number x such that x equal to n pi, where n belongs to z, because it sine is 0 on n pi, that is n pi means pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, etc. Left side is 0, minus pi, minus 2 pi, etc. Clear? So sine, cos, tan over, cot over. Next we are taking secant function. Okay, secant function. So secant function, the graph of secant function is given here. The graph of secant function is this one. Here the secant function also defined all the real numbers, but except to pi by 2, except to 3 pi by 2. Similarly left side minus pi by 2, minus 3 pi by 2, like that. Because secant, how we can write secant can be written as 1 by cos, that is 1 by cosine, or 1 by cos x. It is secant x. Secant x equal to 1 by cos x. So cos x whenever it's getting 0, pi by 2, 3 pi by 2, 5 pi by 2, that is generally we can write 2n plus 1 pi by 2. So that I am excluding the points. So what will come? So secant x real numbers except x such that x equal to 2n plus 1 pi by 2, where n belongs to z. What about the range? What about the range here? Range means what are the values it will take. So see that it will take except this interval, except the interval, one value it will take, but below the y, in the y axis below this value not taking. Similarly up to minus 1. So open interval minus 1 to open interval plus 1, this value is not, these values are not mapped, that is these values the cosine secant function is not taking. So this we have to remove from the range set. So except this minus 1 to 1, remember all the real remaining all the real numbers, it is valid. So we can say that range of the secant function is real number except the open interval minus 1 to 1. So finally we will see the cosecant function. So cosecant function. So cosecant function, the graph, see the graph of the cosecant function. This is the graph of the cosecant function. Cosecant function, how we can write 1 by sin x, that is equal to cosecant x. So this is the graph of the cosecant function. Here also it is valid for all the real numbers except the point pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, like that. left side also 0 minus pi minus 2 pi, because whenever the sine function is getting 0, that points we have to exclude in the domain. Similarly, range set, it is taking from minus 1 to plus 1 except the point minus 1 to plus 1, remaining all the values it is taking. So we have to write the range set except the interval, open interval minus 1 to 1. So all the real numbers will come. So now cosecant function equal to range set. Cosecant function is defined from real numbers x such that x equal to n pi, real numbers except n pi, where n belongs to z, to the real numbers except minus 1 to 1. This is the domain and range of the all 6 trigonometric ratios. Clear? This is also basic. One more basic is there that we have studied in the plus 1. So what does that means? We have written some formulas. What are the formulas we written? Sine of pi by 2 plus theta, or pi by 2 minus theta, cos of pi plus theta, cos of pi minus theta. Not only for sine cos, we have written many formulas. We people are getting confusion how we are getting the formula, how to keep in mind this formula. I have a small trick for this. First we have to check the quadrants, at the quadrants what are the trigonometric ratios, when it is positive, which quadrant it is positive, which quadrant is negative. For that usually we will have one trick, that is all. Here we will write a silver, here we will write tea cups, all silver tea cups. So all the trigonometric ratios are positive here. Here silver means only sin x and cosecant x, sin x and cosecant only positive. Here t means we can write tan x and cot x, whose reciprocal cot x is positive. Then finally cups means cos, so cos x and secant x only positive in this quadrant. This is first quadrant, this is second quadrant, this is third quadrant, this is fourth quadrant. So first quadrant values, how we can write? This is 0 degree, so it is pi by 2, 90 degree. So this quadrant can be written as pi by 2 minus theta we can mention, or theta we can mention. Second quadrant, how we can mention? It is pi by 2 more than pi by 2, second quadrant. So we can mention it as pi by 2 plus theta. This angle is pi, means if you are referring from this line means we can say that pi minus theta. And this third quadrant, pi plus theta, this is 370 degree, that is 3 pi by 2. So we can write it as 3 pi by 2 minus theta. Finally the fourth quadrant, these are very important, these are next. Finally the fourth quadrant, we can mention it as 3 pi by 2 plus theta, or it is, I said, 0 degree. So 0 minus of theta minus theta. One more thing we can mention, that is 0 also true, 3 pi by 2, after that it can be written as 2 pi also true. So we can write 2 pi minus theta. Usually we will use these two, but sometimes we will use this also, 2 pi minus theta also we will use. Clear? Now we have written that how the pi by 2 minus theta means where it is available, which quadrant. Pi by 2 plus theta means which quadrant, pi minus theta means which quadrant, pi plus theta means which quadrant. Everything we have learned now. So now what is the value of cos pi plus theta, pi minus theta, that we have to write now. So for that I have a working rule. So working rule, first step 1, whatever the function given, that we have to write in terms of pi by 2, multiples of pi by 2. For example, it is given that pi plus theta, pi minus theta mean that we can write it as 2 times pi by 2 plus theta. Similarly, suppose it is given that for example 3 pi by 2 means it is already in the terms of multiples of pi by 2. So step 1, we have to write k into pi by 2 plus or minus theta. So k means a value 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, these three only we are going to discuss here. So after writing this, we have to see that if k is even, k is even means there is no change. K is even means there is no change in the trigonometric ratio. There is no change in the trigonometric ratio. Clear? This is first step. First step we can take it as A, like that. Suppose if k value is odd, if k is odd means 1 pi by 2, 3 pi by 2, like that. Pi by 2 plus pi by 2 minus. K is even means we can write it as pi plus theta, pi minus theta, or 2 pi plus theta, 2 pi minus theta, like that. So k is odd means what we can take? K is odd means pi by 2 plus or minus theta, or 3 pi by 2 plus or minus theta. These are called k value is odd. So now what will come? K is odd means the following change will occur. Following change will occur in trigonometric ratios. So what are the changes? What are the changes means sine function will be changed into cos function, or cos function is there mean it will be changed into sine function. Similarly, if it is tan x is available means it will change to cot x, or cot x is available means that will be changed to tan x. Similarly, if it is secant x mean that will be changed to cosecant x, or cosecant x is there mean that will be changed to secant x. This is first step. After changing or after no change, what we have to do means we have to check the symbol of the given function. For example, second step 2. This is step 1 over. Next we are writing step 2. Step 2, assigning the symbol positive or negative. Assigning the symbol positive or negative. Assigning the symbol positive or negative. So how to assign positive or negatives are same. For example, as from this table, if the function is sine function, if it is available in the first quadrant mean we have to apply positive symbol. If the function is available in the second quadrant, for example pi by 2 plus theta or pi minus theta means we can assign the positive symbol only for sine and cosecant. Okay, I will explain by using an example. Clear? So for example I am taking means, for example sine of 3 pi by 2 plus theta I am going to check now. So what is sine 3 pi by 2 plus theta? So the value of the k value is odd, so we have to change the sine into cos. So sine 3 pi by 2 plus theta cos theta we have written. Now we have to assign the symbol for this. So positive or negative. So how to check positive or negative? Sine 3 pi by 2. 3 pi by 2 means it is available in the fourth quadrant. 3 pi by 2 plus. So it is 3 pi by 2, that is 270. 270 plus it is available in the fourth quadrant. Fourth quadrant, what are the ratios are positive? Only cos x and secant x is positive. Our question is sin x. So it is negative. So sin 3 pi by 2 plus theta equal to minus cos theta. Clear? I'll explain one more problem. For example, secant 3 pi by 2 minus theta. Secant 3 pi by 2 means what? It is 3 pi by 2 odd pi by 2. So secant will change into cosecant theta. Now what is the symbol sign for secant theta in the 3 pi by 2 minus 2 quadrant? 3 by 2 minus theta quadrant. 3 pi by 2 minus theta mean that is third quadrant. Third quadrant, what is positive? All silver T. Tan and cot only positive. So this secant is negative. So negative of cosecant theta will come. Clear? One more problem. I will take cot or cos pi plus theta. Cos pi plus theta means pi, I said already, pi can be written as 2 times pi by 2. So 2 times pi by 2 means it is even, there is no change. So cos of pi plus theta will be cos theta, and we have to check the symbol pi plus theta, which quadrant? Third quadrant is tan and cot only positive, cos is negative, so minus cos theta will come. Clear? One more example I will give. For example, tan of pi plus theta. So same, pi can be written as 2 times pi by 2, so there is no change. So tan of pi plus theta will be tan theta. Check the symbol. Pi plus theta is third quadrant, tan and cot are positive, it is tan function, so positive tan theta only will come, no need to apply the symbol. Clear? So how to keep in mind means we have to keep that 90 and 270, the function trigonometry functions will change. 180 and 0 degree means there is no change. Clear? We will see one more example for the 0 degree, that is minus theta. So for example, minus theta means what will come? Minus theta, tan of minus theta, directly we can take. Minus theta means I said already fourth quadrant all silver teacup, so cos theta and secant theta only positive, so tan of minus theta will be minus tan theta. One more example we can take. Secant of minus theta is also fourth quadrant, secant theta is positive, so secant of minus theta is secant theta. Clear? Okay. In next class we will see the how to get the inverse trigonometry function, that is arc function. Arc sine means sine inverse. How to get the function, what are the graph for sine inverse, cos inverse, similarly for all 6 trigonometry ratios. And then we will see principal branch value, domain and principal value branches. After that only we will move to the exercise problem. Thank you all.